What is going on, you guys? Ryan from WodFigs here. Finally back with another episode of Mail Call. If you guys have been paying attention to my Instagram story, at least of when I'm filming this, today has just been a terrible day. Traveling all over here in New York City, and then my driver was driving way over the limit, 20 miles per hour in fact, and then we got pulled over. So for like an hour, I was basically stuck doing nothing. But I'm finally back, and I come home to 3 new packages. This is the first time in a while I'm actually getting a decent amount of figures, and I know for a fact I want to open up this one first. This is a figure that I can't wait to get open, and we're going to do just that. As a matter of fact, I believe the eBay seller for this guy actually recognized me on my Instagram, contacted me about it, actually messaged me about the figure that's in here, which, by the way, is the brand new AJ Styles figure. Oh my freaking god, it looks great. But the seller was a really cool guy who recognized the YouTube channel and everything and is a fan. I don't know if he wants me to say his name, but even if not, cool guy, really do appreciate it. Got me a good deal on this AJ Styles figure, which actually does come in the packaging rather than the casing, just because this was the cheapest one when I bought it. The other ones are going for almost $50 and stuff, so I think this one was definitely worth it, and I can't wait to take a closer look at this guy because it already looks phenomenal, a pun intended. But we have 2 more packages. In here we have my first woman's figure, and actually a pretty decent amount of time, and I got a really good deal on this as well. Only $15 for this figure, which is loose, but I believe is complete, which you're going to see right here in a second. And as you can see, I believe this is the Walgreens Sasha Banks figure, just for the predictions videos, because I really needed the women's championship, which I finally have now. It has been a while, but there you go. There it is, the women's championship in all of its glory, looking really nice. Here's the Sasha figure. I don't really collect women's figures. I mean, I have a few, but I needed the championship for the predictions video, and I mean, it's not the greatest head scan. The articulation is limited, as all the other women's figures are, and it looks like they're going to get even worse looking at that Natalia figure that came out. But I mean, I guess it's fine. I like this attire more. I might be head swapping it with that other one, the Elite one that came out in like the orange and white, but way more happy that I actually got the women's championship with that one. And we have a bigger box here, which I accidentally shipped to my billing address rather than my shipping address, which was a whole mess, but luckily I was able to get it not too late. So here we go. We've got 2 mock figures in here, and by the way, I paid $15 for each of these, which I think is a fantastic deal. And as you can see, we've got Kofi, we've got Paper, who actually isn't a member of the New Day, and we've got Xavier. And I mean, $15 for both of these. I mean, loose, that would have been a good deal, but mock, I think that's absolutely incredible. I mean, they were categorized as damaged packaging, which I think is why they were cheap, but I really don't notice anything too crazy with either one of these guys. They don't look damaged really at all, but we're going to get them out of their packaging, probably take a closer look. But first, we're going to look at this AJ, maybe even do a little bit of catching up on all of my AJ figures, but we'll see. So here we finally got AJ out of his casing or packaging. When this first dropped, it was going for actually a pretty good amount of money, like somewhere up to 50, maybe even more dollars when it actually first appeared on eBay. But since then, it's gone down. You can probably get it mock or even loose for somewhere around 35, 30, maybe even cheaper if you get really lucky. But of course, this AJ is from his Wrestlemania 33 attire against Shane McMahon. Humble brag here, but in my San Diego Comic-Con predictions video, I actually predicted that this AJ would be the Big Book Toys R Us exclusive, and I got really lucky, and what do you know, it is now the Toys R Us Big Book exclusive, and very much worth it, because this attire is awesome. Taking a look first at the vest, the one problem that I see a lot of people having is quality control, which you're going to see a lot on some white-based figures, which we're going to get into, but on the vest, from what I can tell, it looks pretty good. No major flaws or anything on the vest. You've got the AJ logo right there at the top on the sleeve, then the P1 logo on the back. The side is black with a blue and red trim. Of course, the base is white. That's the only accessory he comes with, but I think it's worth it considering, I mean, this is what he wore down to the ring, unless you count the elbow pad as an accessory, which I don't. But looking at the actual figure, he's got the head scan that came on his first basic and elite, which I actually think was a good call over the screaming one. I do like that head scan, but I think I do prefer this one a little bit more. He's got the regular torso that he always has with the chest hair and the tattoos. And then his gloves, one of them is actually red, the other one is actually blue, so this one, the arm with the phenomenal one, elbow pad. On the actual glove, it says AJ, and then on the wrist, it says Styles, and it is the same thing on the other side, but in blue and whitey, and then a blue armband that says AJ on it. Looking at the actual attire, or the tights, I should say, again, the quality control is pretty decent on mine. I mean, there's a spot right over there that really isn't the biggest deal, and some that really the camera aren't picking up. There's a little bit of like spots of white in the black on the tights. See, there's like the streaks from the articulation just kind of bleeding over, which is a little bit distracting, but honestly, not a huge deal. I do not care that much. He's got the Japanese letters here on the right side and the back, and then on the other side, he's got the P1 logo in blue with the red design. The tights match the actual look of the jacket with the black going down the side and the red and blue trim, which is awesome. He's got some knee pads. The kick pads say phenomenal one. On the right boot with the red, it says phenomenal with some blue and white trim, and then on the left boot with the blue, it just says one, of course, to say phenomenal one. And this figure is absolutely great. Probably my favorite AJ attire that they've released so far. I mean, you look at the other two and they weren't like that crazy and colorful, and one of AJ's maybe memorable attires, whereas this one, I'm really glad they chose something that stands out, that he's only, I think, worn once, but it's definitely unique. I'm glad they did it. I recommend you get this if you're an AJ collector or just a collector in general. Definitely get this AJ Styles figure. It is great. After we review the New Day, I think we're going to put this AJ Styles amongst all my other ones, maybe even see where it ranks, because I'm looking forward to showing you guys all my AJs, because I am proud of all of the ones I have. So we're going to go ahead and put AJ down, and let's get on to the New Day. And here we've got the New Day. Of course, missing is Big E, but no worries about that, because once that Elite I'm able to get my hands on there, I'll definitely put him with these two. But they are in matching orange attires, which are easily the most colorful that Mattel have made. Of course, the first Elites that they released of the New Day were the blue ones. Then we had the WrestleMania 32 3-pack, which was awesome. Now we get these Elites with Kofi and Xavier being in the same set and Big E being in a different one. But they both do come with unicorn horns. Xavier's is more white, while Kofi's is more yellow. I don't really think I need to go into detail on those stupid things, but taking a look at the vest, Kofi has two unicorns on the front in blue, stars all over, then the New Day logo on the back with the sort of cloudy heaven look going down at the bottom, which is rubber, by the way. And Xavier has a similar design with those stars and the clouds with the unicorn on the back, the stars, and the New Day logo, if that gives you a better look at it. Kofi doesn't come with any accessories other than the horn and the jacket, but Xavier does come with Francesca. I don't know if this is 2.0 or 3.0 or 15. I don't even know which version this is, but it isn't one of the colorful ones. It's just the plain bronze or gold one with no really finish on it. That's just, you know, pretty bland, not really one of the design ones. But taking a look at their attires in terms of their wristbands and everything, Kofi's are indeed just white, no really design on there, but Xavier's do have actually a nice amount of detail on them with the white and blue stripes, the stars, the orange hand tape, and then the white finger tape as well, which look really, really cool. And then their actual tights both are absolutely packed with designs. Xavier actually has the unicorn on the back, I believe, but the way it's cut off, that looks really, really interesting. I can tell it's a unicorn by the horn, but the leg is sort of cutting off the design. Either way, that looks a little bit weird, but still the tights have the unicorn logo even on the front there. All the other designs that were on there with the orange tights. The blue, the white, the gold stars, all of it is there on the tights. The New Day logos on the front. The unicorns, one's white, one's blue on opposite sides. New Day logos are on the back of his knees. And something really cool about the kick pads in general are actually the shoes. You can tell they didn't just use the regular shoe molds that they used on the kick pads. They actually molded on his basketball sneakers, which I believe are LeBron's, or they look like LeBron's. It's something really cool. Also got the New Day socks hanging out. That is just some awesome detail. At least I think those are them. I'm not 100% sure. But these are probably my favorite New Day attires that they've released so far. Again, it's incomplete without Big E, but I don't think that's a huge deal. I would get these while you can. I mean, 15 for each of these mock, I think, is just an absolute steal, and I'm happy I got them. Can't wait for Big E, because he's going to complete these guys. So let's move on to the AJ collection. So let's go ahead and get into all of the AJ Styles figures that I have. Starting off first, we've got 3 different categories of figures. First one being basics, the least favorites, I guess, only because of the limited articulation. However, still awesome tires. Nonetheless, you got a red, white, and black one right here. I never put knee pads on this one or an elbow pad just because I don't really mess around with this one too much. But I do like the Survivor Series or TLC. I can't remember which one it is. I think it's Survivor Series, though I could be wrong. AJ, of course, added knee pads to it and elbow pads and did that little fix-up. And I think this Screaming Head does match. And one thing I did forget to mention while reviewing the WrestleMania 33 AJ is that I'm looking forward to potentially soon getting an AJ with longer hair that he has now. So there are the basics. I definitely give the edge to the blue one. Then we've got the actual elites that Mattel has released, with this first one being in the, I believe, the Royal Rumble attire with the first head scan and all of that. Also the small elbow pad. Then you have, I believe it is the Elite 51. I could be wrong with that one. Again, these are all true to their original parts, nothing swapped besides the elbow pad was cut on this one. And but out of all three of the official releases, I think it's very easy to say that the WrestleMania 33 one definitely stands out as the best one and potentially a figure of the year candidate, because I absolutely love this figure. But I already talked about how much I liked it. All these are still great elites nonetheless, but again, I edge it out to the WrestleMania 33 one. And then finally, boy, I haven't showed this one in a while. This is the customs category, I guess. And we've got this one, which Burnout Inc. actually made me a while ago. This thing is old. It's beat up, which is why I don't really use it too much or mess around with it to take pictures of it, just because it's pretty old. It was one of the first, I think it is actually the first custom that Chase ever made me, so I really do appreciate him for that one. This is one that Jesus traded me. This one, it does have paint on it, but it is mainly decal. This one's actually hand painted. Nonetheless, though, this one is still really, really awesome. I believe from No Mercy, if I am correct. A really unique colorway. It does stand out from the other AJs that I have. And then finally, my favorite custom easily, the one that Jesus made me in his white and black attire, kind of like Wrestle Kingdom 10. I talked about in the past how much I absolutely love this figure. It is incredible. But I think it's going to come down to either one of these two. And I'm going to ask you guys down below which one you think is better, the Custom Elite or the actual WrestleMania 33 figure. I'm going to give the edge to the Custom Elite, and it's just this attire. I love it so much. But that's going to do it for this episode of Mail Call. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let's get all of these AJs together. If you did, this is going to be hard. Make sure you leave a like. Oh boy, subscribe if you haven't already. And as always, stay tuned to the next one.